Hello, welcome to this month's March Community Hangout session. It's awesome to be back, like going through. I always love these sessions, like being able to go through everything and just chat and see, like, show you all what we've been working on, and also just hear your questions and comments and anything like that. So I've seen a couple of messages already in the chat. Hey Janelle, hey Melody, OT, hello. Please do feel free. So for these community hangout sessions, it's very much like me just chatting through like what I've been doing, like working on in the past month, but then also what we've got planned in the coming month. And then at the end, we'll dive in and I'll help answer any of your questions, like anything that you've got that you want to ask me, whether it's about your web development career, your learning path, whether it's about Frontend Mentor and like what we've got in store. Maybe you've got some features that you're requesting or anything like that, any ideas. Feel free, just ask any questions you like. Please do feel free also to just start asking questions in the chat, and I'll get to them kind of when we get to the Ask Me Anything bit. But please do feel free to just like fire away, send the messages in the chat, and then I'll get to them at the end. I'm using StreamYard today, so I'm kind of playing around with a little bit of tooling. We'll be able to put the questions on the bottom whenever I answer them and all of this kind of stuff. So yeah, looking to kind of professionalize it a little bit. Got my microphone, all of that stuff sorted now. So kind of gradually getting better at this stuff, hopefully. Anyway, so yeah, like we went through February. February literally went by in an absolute blink of an eye. We're in lockdown at the moment, still in the UK. So every single day just looks like the one that's gone before it. So everything just kind of blends into one. So it felt like the month was just one big long day. But we got a lot done, which is great. And we also had over 11,000 people sign up, which was amazing. So seeing like so many new people joining the community, both on the platform and in the Slack community, which is absolutely brilliant. Like so nice seeing new faces, and also seeing new faces popping up in the comments as well on people's solutions. It's just really, really nice to see people jumping in, helping each other out, giving feedback to each other, helping each other improve as developers, which is amazing. We've got quite a few people diving in. Hey, June Ray, and hey, Favor. Great to see you all here. So let's dive in. First of all, like what I was working on in the past month, and what we've got planned for the coming months. Like I said, please do feel free, just start asking questions in the chat, and I'll get to them kind of when we get to the Ask Me Anything bit. Anything that I can do to help all of you out and help you improve as developers, help answer any of your questions, anything like that, just fire away and I'll get to those questions when I've gone through what we've been through over the last month. So first of all, you'll notice on your profile pages, you will notice a new layout. This is the first step of like a multi-step process where we're going to be kind of gradually making improvements on the UI. The first step was just the profile layout. So since the solutions index, like since that's moved into like this masonry grid layout, the profile page started to look a little bit funky, and with the badges on the kind of right hand side, it like all just seemed a little bit off. So we've kind of refreshed the layout, put all of the information like at the top now. So we've got that like nice top introductory banner, like all of this kind of stuff. And I hope you think that it's a much nicer layout. Hey, Chris. And if you've got any feedback whatsoever, if ever I make any UI updates or anything like that, I always try and post the kind of upcoming designs in the design channel in Slack. Do feel free to critique stuff. Like I want to build this stuff kind of with you all and get your input and feedback and all this kind of thing. So if there's anything, I mean, I posted a few like designs and screenshots and stuff in the design channel as I was kind of prepping to build and then building. But at the same time, if there's anything now that you still think could be tweaked and could be made better, just mention it. Like I'm always open to feedback, which is always great. Like I love getting as much feedback as possible. So the next thing that I'm going to be improving, so that was the profile layout. I'm also going to be improving the kind of solution previews. Those are the ones that you see on your profile page, but then also on the big solutions index as well. Just cleaning it up, making it not so like there's lots of, at the moment, the kind of the red call to actions like view solution. There's lots of those all over the place. We want to clean it up, make it a little bit calmer, as opposed to looking a bit too kind of in your face. Also going to be improving the comments. So if you look on the activity tab, you'll see that it says like this person has commented on this solution, and then it shows the feedback that they've given. That's an unbelievable resource for even just kind of seeing what feedback people are giving to other people, because there's so much to learn in there. But at the moment, each of those comments, you can't see really what the solution was. Like, what was the challenge that the solution author, like what challenge have they completed? So we're going to be improving those as well, giving a little preview of it, like a few stats on the solution, all this kind of stuff as well, just to make it a bit more obvious what comment that is for, like what the solution is that the comment is for. And then also we're going to be giving a bit of a refresh to like the challenge items on the challenges index, the resource items. Kevin's even playing around, our designer is even playing around with like new homepage and stuff. So we're just experimenting with new little things at the moment on the UI side. So that was one thing. The profile page layout is the first step. And then in the coming month, I'll be working on some more UI updates as well, which will be great. I'm really excited to get those out there. One other thing was we launched our first ever guru level challenge. So you may have all noticed that we've got kind of 5 levels of challenges, but up until recently, the top level challenge has only been like a advanced challenge. And that was a little bit kind of my bad, because I always thought like a guru level challenge, it will be like an all singing, all dancing application. Maybe we'll provide an API, like all of this kind of stuff. And I kind of backed myself into a bit of a corner where it was like, the design and the planning and all of that kind of stuff for that kind of project, it takes a long time. And with all of the other work that I was doing on the platform, I just kind of never had the time to do it. And then I suddenly had an idea for, actually, we could do like a resource application, an invoicing application would be a really nice project, because there aren't a huge amount of images and stuff that you need for invoices. You've got the whole like create, read, update, delete. So you're building like a CRUD kind of application. And so as soon as I had that idea, it's like, okay, like let's do that. Like let's design that. And hey, Meza, nice to see you here. And so we did that. We did the invoicing app, launched it as a guru level challenge. It is like our most realistic project yet. It's literally as close to that you could get to a real life client project without it actually being a real life client project. So I'm really, really happy with how it's turned out. I see a couple of people have already completed it, which like blows my mind. It's amazing to see people completing it so fast, which is incredible. And it will just be an amazing showcase kind of portfolio piece as well if you're trying to get a job, trying to get hired. You'll notice though that there is actually one other challenge in the guru level challenge now, is that because I've actually restructured some of the difficulties of the challenges, because they were all sort of grouped around like intermediate and advanced. And actually I wanted to sort of spread them out a little bit more so that they're a bit more, just a bit better for the difficulties. Some people were taking an intermediate challenge and being like, are you sure this is an intermediate challenge? Like this feels like an advanced challenge, or maybe I'm just missing something. And I was like, no, actually, yeah, that's probably better as an advanced challenge. So I've sort of spread them out a bit more over the 5 levels. Now that we've got 2 guru level challenges, we'll kind of add more in the future. I'm focused more on adding like more of the newbie, junior, and intermediate ones, because I know that the largest chunk of our community are all kind of beginners and trying to build smaller projects and gradually building up as well. And also the guru level challenges and the advanced ones take a long time to complete, so we don't need as many of them on the site. But really excited for that. It was great to see the response to it as well. Like, people seem to really like the design and all that kind of thing. There's a lot more to come. I'm really excited about the challenges that are going to be coming up. And another thing that I did was add some new resources. So I added some new resources to the resources page. It was like 7 new resources. That resources page is just always going to kind of stay up, and always I've got my phone next to me. That was silly, like having my phone there while I'm doing a live stream. And essentially, like, this resources page is just going to be an ever-growing resource page. So I'm always going to be kind of adding to it as I find new resources and like new tutorials. Like, one of them, for instance, is by Lee Robinson, or a couple of them. Lee Robinson, who's really good instructor. Now it works at Vercel, but he's now kind of made his courses. So he's got like React 2025 and Mastering Next.js. He's just made them completely free. And that's brilliant. Like, I love like when someone's like, oh yeah, I've got the job somewhere else. I don't actually need to make money by myself now, so I'm gonna just kind of create this stuff and change the price, make it free. That's always nice. So it always helps on the learning side. So I added that, which was great. And then there's a few other little resources in there as well. So that the resources page will just continue to grow and grow and grow as I find new resources that I think that you will all benefit from, and any front-end developer really would benefit from. If you've ever got any suggestions, like, I know that we've got the resources channel, which is always a great place to post them. But if you come across something and you're like, I think that this should be on the resources page, like, feel free to just DM me, like message me, and I'll take a look. And if I think that it would genuinely be really useful for the wider community, then I'll 100% like put that up there. So yeah. And another thing, like the less glamorous stuff, like that you don't actually see, is just like lots and lots of planning. Because with Frontend Mentor, we're getting to a really good place where we're literally adding like 10,000, like 10 to 15,000 new members a month on the platform, which is just like mind blowing to me, which is incredible. But with that, I want to make sure that we're moving in the right direction and we're building the right things to support you all in your journey to becoming a web developer or improving your web development skills. Maybe you've already got a job and you want to build projects to build up your portfolio a little bit. Maybe you want to get a raise, like move up a position from junior to midweight or something like that. I want to make sure that we're supporting you all as much as possible in your web development careers. So that takes a lot of planning. I could easily just be like in the code, building and building and building new features, but I wouldn't want to take the platform off in the wrong direction. So I've been taking a lot of time to like plan for the longer term, plan for what could come next. A lot of you have already seen me post about a jobs board in the jobs channel. Got over like, actually I think like over 500 responses to that, just for saying kind of where you're at with your development career, what you would want out of a jobs board and all this kind of stuff. So that's incredible things for me to look through. And that will definitely be a plan. Hopefully in the first half of this year, like get a jobs board up on the site will be the first thing. But then in the future, I really want to turn Frontend Mentor into like a talent discovery platform, because we've got all of you kind of incredible developers on the platform completing projects and building projects using different tools like React and Vue and just vanilla HTML, CSS, JS, like all of this kind of stuff. I would love to make it so that if you as an individual could be like, I'm looking for work, and then any job, like any person, like recruiter or hiring manager that's looking for a developer would be able to just plug in some information. Like, I want a developer with 1 to 3 years experience. I want them to know React and ES6 and like ES6 plus, like grid and blah, blah, blah. And then we could be like, here are all of the people with that amount of experience, like completing challenges in like React and style components and all of this kind of stuff. And just make it so that it would be like, boom, here's all of the people that you might be interested in that are looking for work at the moment that are completing challenges using these technologies. And like for me, that would be incredible because it would help them find like unbelievable developers, which you all are. Like you're all like someone summed it up perfectly. Like they were asking me like if they could post a job in the jobs channel, and they summed it up beautifully. They said like what we've got is essentially a community of design-minded front-end developers with an eye for detail who can build front ends, like build projects, because that's all we do on Frontend Mentor is like building projects. And he summed it up perfectly. I couldn't agree more. That's exactly what we've got, like with you all here. So why not make it super, super easy for people to actually search and find the developer for their needs. And that could be you all, and that would be you all, and you would just be completing your challenges, displaying your coding skills by building projects on the site, displaying your knowledge by giving other people code reviews as well, so that it shows like that you can critique other people's code and you can give good feedback to other people and all this kind of stuff. And then if you're matching the search criteria, it would be like, boom, this person could be good for you. And then they will at that point be able to view your profile and then reach out to you and message you. So that's like all of the stuff that we're kind of moving towards. And this is like a big part of the planning phase that I've been going through in this past month. We don't see any new features or anything like that on the website, but at the same time, what we do have is like now just a very, very, very clear roadmap of like where we're going to go, where we're going to take it. And I'd love to, seeing a few people, Chris, like saying that that would be really, really nice. If anyone's got any more thoughts on that, like basically talent search functionality on Frontend Mentor, do let me know. Like I would love to hear your feedback on it. We're going to be building this, like it's not going to be immediate, but we're already going to start kind of planning for it. We've got some other features that will be getting built first. This is going to be a huge like amount of work, so it will take a little while to get that up on the site. But at the same time, it's the direction that we're moving in. So I just want to give you that kind of the result of the planning. So yeah. So this coming month, there'll be a bit more planning. There's also going to be sort of some more UI updates. Like I was mentioning earlier, all of this kind of stuff with the with the profile, like this is just the beginning. So there will be lots more updates that I'll be doing. Also, there's a lot of just small little tasks that still need to be cleared on the backlog. So I'm just going to get them done just to kind of clear out the backlog before the next step of work. Also, one other thing is that we're going to be adding a like hire me button to the pro subscription, like on the profile page. If you're a subscribed member, you'll be able to say like, I am looking for work, and very much like Dribble, essentially. Like if any of you kind of use Dribble at all, it will very much be similar to that. So you'll be able to say, I'm looking for work, and it will then have a little button that says hire me on your profile. So if there are any recruiters or hiring managers, and people like hiring managers and recruiters they do use Frontend Mentor already. Like I know this for a fact that they use Frontend Mentor already. So so just having a little button on there, it's another way where you could potentially open yourself up to finding work. So I'm excited for that as well. And that's also the very beginning of like the wider thing, which will be adding that business side on Frontend Mentor, where businesses will be able to use like talent search functionality to find the developers to fit their needs. So that's like UI updates, like continuing with the UI updates. Clearing the little tiny to-dos. There's a few little bugs here and there that I need to fix. Not very fashionable work, but it needs to be done. And then also a little hire me button on profile page, and that will be for pro subscribers. Will be able to add that. When we add the talent search functionality, everyone will be able to say like, I am looking for work. But very similar to Dribble, we'll have the pro subscribers will be able to have a little hire me button on their profile page as well. So yeah, that's what I've been up to the last month, and that's what we got kind of planned in this coming month and beyond as well. Like talking about that talent search functionality, that's a little bit down the line, but that is the direction that we're going to be moving in. And yeah, now dive into some of your questions. I'm excited to answer them. Like, feel free, just keep asking questions, and I'll just move through them and kind of answer them as I go. So what Melody's saying, I don't know why Slack suddenly decided to send me notifications, but now I know about this. Hello. Hello, that was probably my fault. I did a @here. Like before, I only try and do it like once a month, so it's not too annoying. Although saying that tomorrow, actually, this is one thing that I forgot to mention, which is huge actually, is that with we moved over 100K members on the site like recently last month. And to celebrate that, I'm going to start doing a new kind of series. Like we got these hangouts, but then also I'm going to do community spotlights. And that is essentially just going to be like me and another person, but then also it's going to be a live stream, so you all can join in as well. And we'll just be talking, and it will be more about the other person. So we'll be talking about their background, how they got into web development, tips, tricks, like all of this kind of stuff. But then also you'll be able to ask questions live in the chat as well. And tomorrow, so there's going to be one more @here mentioned tomorrow afternoon, so apologies in advance for that. But I'm going to be sitting down with Grace Snow, which is I'm super excited about. She's one of the most prominent members in the community, always diving in with loads and loads of feedback and help and support and everything like that. So I literally can't wait to sit down with Grace and just chat and then answer any of your questions kind of as and when they come up. So that's tomorrow. That'll be the same time tomorrow as well. I've already put a link for that in the Slack channel, so if you want to set a reminder, please do. And yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to doing that. So yeah, apologies, Melody, if you do get one more notification tomorrow, because that will be just another little @here mention just to say kind of we're about to start. So, but I try and keep like the at channel and @here mentions like as minimal as possible, because I know that they're super annoying, and we've got like over 41,000 people in the community now. So I don't want to be doing that to 41,000 people all the time. So yeah, let's dive in. So I'll get this up on the screen. And I'm using StreamYard, so this is cool being able to have these up on the screen. So I know a lot of things, but can't join it all together and prepare for a job. Like with this, I would just say, sort of don't be too worried about it. Like just kind of start out as small as possible. And that's why we have like 5 levels of challenges. Just start with the smallest possible challenge, like HTML and CSS only, and then just kind of gradually build up and build up and build up. And with time, I mean, this stuff did not click for me in the early days at all. It took a long time for it to really sink in. So don't worry about it. Like it will just go for the smallest project possible. Build up from there, and then just over time things will start to click, things will start to fall in place, and yeah, you'll get better and better, and everything will start to move in the right direction. So Ronak was saying he was here before and left after completing 2 solutions. Now I regret leaving and I'm back here. Good to have you back, Ronak. I love to hear that you're back. Ronaldo CR7. I'm an Arsenal fan, so yeah. So Ronaldo CR7 saying, am I the only one who doubts myself a lot and is hindering the process of success? No, you 100% will not be. And Melody's actually mentioned this in the comments as well, saying constantly stressed about skills and struggling to move past it. This is a very, very common thing. And like, it's hard to say don't kind of worry about it, because you can't just say don't worry about it. It's not that easy at all. We all doubt ourselves. Like, we all suffer from imposter syndrome. Like, I still suffer from imposter syndrome. Like, you see some of the people out there and what they're building and what they're teaching and what they're doing, and it seems like everyone knows absolutely everything out there, and you're the only person that only knows like a small subset of skills. And like, that's just absolutely not the truth. Like, Grace actually posted a really nice diagram in there after she did a workshop a couple of weeks ago, saying kind of what you think you know versus what you think everyone else knows. And like, what you think you know was like tiny circle, what you think everyone else knows is a massive circle. And then it was like what you know versus what everyone else actually knows, and it's like the same amount. And that's completely true. Everyone thinks that everyone else knows more than they do. But they don't. So just try. It's so easy to say it and so hard to do it. Try to kind of just take it one step at a time. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to learn absolutely everything that's out there and all this kind of stuff. Just focus on what's next. Like, focus on the next little thing. Try and get better at that. Try and get some feedback wherever you can, and then move on to the next thing, and then keep going. And also give yourself plenty of breaks. Don't do this to the point of burnout. Like with coding and with tech, especially, like everything moves at a rate of knots, and there's always a new shiny object. But just try to just stay focused, and don't be too worried about it, and just try like chipping away at it. Things will fall into place. Things will come, and just keep at it. And if you ever need any help or anything like that, just ask questions in the help channel, the best practices channel. Feel free to DM me if you don't want to do it publicly. Feel free to DM me, and we can have a chat. I'm always happy to talk. So yeah, no, you're definitely not alone. This is a very, very common feeling. It's very easy to say don't worry about it, because it's not as easy as that in practice. But just keep going. You'll get there. Like, we're all in the same boat, trying to paddle upstream. So yeah. Silvergraph saying, we'll see. It's been 2 months since I started learning about web dev, and I learned HTML5, CSS3, and wanted to know about TypeScript. Should I pick it up now alongside JavaScript? I wouldn't necessarily pick it up alongside JavaScript. I would get comfortable with JavaScript and then learn TypeScript if you want. TypeScript is not, I mean, there's like people fall into two different camps on this. Like, TypeScript is, in my opinion, not a crucial thing to learn to become a web developer. More and more companies are using it, especially larger companies, because of the nature of TypeScript and kind of typed JavaScript, essentially. So more and more companies are using it. You'll probably improve your employability if you've got that on your resume, if you've got that as a skill. But at the same time, I would get comfortable with JavaScript first, learn the nuances of the language, and then potentially, like, if you want, at that point, pick up TypeScript. I wouldn't learn them like side by side. I'd focus on JavaScript first, and then the TypeScript. TypeScript is optional, but it could be beneficial depending on the companies that you are applying for. So yeah. Janelle is wondering how I come up with the different designs for the challenges. I know many myself, as well as myself, struggle at times to think of designs projects to then code for our personal portfolios. Yeah, like this is one of the decisions I always wanted to take off your table. So I wanted to be like, you don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. So for me, I've just got a Notion. I use Notion to kind of track things as a document and just a memory database essentially for the company and for me. I've just got a big table of like project ideas and literally like the coffee roasting subscription website. I was actually setting up a coffee subscription for myself on a website called Pact, and I literally was like clicking on the kind of the buttons as like filling in that form. And then I just suddenly in my head, I was like, this would be a really cool challenge. Like, this is actually really fun. This would be really fun logic to build this challenge. And so I immediately made a sort of little note to Kevin. And whenever I do that, Kevin always then like creates a couple of different wireframes. And then I was and then I would then pick a direction to go in based on those wireframes, and then we would sort of flesh it out on the high fidelity designs and all of this kind of stuff. But the ideas for the challenges, I just, as I'm browsing around the web, I'm just very much kind of like looking at the content, but then I'm also like constantly in the back of my head, I'm kind of just got this thing always going, like, would this be a fun thing to build potentially for the community? And if it is, then I add it to Notion and then at some point put it across to Kevin. I don't want to fire too many ideas at him at once to overload him. But yeah, so that's how I do it. Sometimes it could literally just be kind of dumb luck of me like filling out a form or something. I'm like, oh, actually this would be quite good. So yeah, and the invoicing app, that was one that it's just suddenly randomly popped into my head as like a potential guru level challenge that would test all of the like CRUD. It would allow people to build it out as a full stack application if they wanted to as well. And so yeah, it's very much like ideas just sort of randomly pop up sometimes as well. So Maria is asking when a guru level challenge is going to be available and how are they going to be like? There's actually 2 on the site already. So there's 2. There's an invoicing app, and then there's the Designo multi-page website, which is there's 5 different templates in that Designo challenge, and there's 5 different templates and 7 pages altogether. So it's a big challenge. And the invoicing app, that's like a kind of fairly standard kind of create, read, update, delete style application. And there's lots of there's really complex forms and validation and all this kind of stuff. So the guru level challenges are much closer to like the types of websites you would be building if you had clients and if you were working in a professional company and this kind of thing. Shamu's already mentioned the invoice app, so thank you very much for that, Shamu. So what other questions? Sorry, I'm using StreamYard. That's what allowing me to add these questions. It's like getting used to the UI a little bit, so I'm kind of fumbling around a little bit. But yeah, so this is an interesting one. So Alexei is saying, first off, thanks for your efforts and support of the community. I love your challenges. The only thing I'm missing is consistent feedback, especially about quality of the code and how to improve it. So this is something that I'm like really aware of on the platform. And this is stuff that I really, really want to improve on the platform as much as possible. So one thing that I've failed in kind of getting the messaging across on the platform is very much like the idea of the platform is to complete a challenge or complete some challenges and then go in and start kind of giving feedback to other people. Like as soon as you're feeling a little bit comfortable, start giving feedback to the people that are like slightly more on a like slightly lower level to yourself. Because this not only helps other people, but it also massively speeds up your learning process yourself by reviewing other people's code, by reading through other people's code and then critiquing it and having a conversation, like a technical conversation with them. You're improving your own understanding. So as soon as so I kind of like I want to write more articles around this, like how to get the most out of Frontend Mentor and like guides and all of this kind of stuff. But at the moment, like that's something that I've been missing. And so like I urge everyone to just try and give feedback to other people, even if you don't feel that you're quite ready to. Just give feedback. It might even be a visual thing, like, oh, the padding and the font sizes and stuff seem to be off, like this kind of thing. But then also, like, I'm fully aware that we also I want to start bringing in more and more like experienced developers, kind of midweights and seniors and things like this into the platform, that might take on more of a role, like for instance with Grace, where you got someone with unbelievable level of experience who's also happy kind of giving the time to help the community and mentor others and this kind of thing. And this is something that I need to kind of figure out, like how to attract more midweight and senior developers on the platform. It's also something that I've been failing at lately, which is like giving feedback myself kind of on the platform. It's just I've got 1,000,001 things that I'm trying to do to like improve the actual platform itself. So actually giving feedback has been like I've not been giving anywhere near enough as much feedback as I would want to give. So I need to improve that myself. But I also want to add in ways to make it easier to give feedback. Things like displaying more information about the code up front, like on the solution page. Also, maybe have like little buttons where you could give quick feedback. So it would be like, you could say kind of, you've done this well, or this needs improvement. And it would be just little buttons for like responsiveness, accessibility, and all of this kind of stuff. So even if people don't have time to give you like written feedback, they could at least come in and be like, oh, it looks like the responsiveness, like quick look, looks like the responsiveness needs some improvement. And then they could optionally add some extra more detailed feedback if they want as well. But at the very least, then that will surface it to you and be like, oh, I need to look at the responsiveness. Even if there's not necessarily any like detailed feedback around it, you would have enough to then be like, okay, I need that's something I need to improve. I'm gonna dive in and see if I can improve it myself. So yeah, but like the whole engagement side, and also as more and more companies start to, as I like, hopefully in the future, when we do build out this like talent search and all of this kind of stuff, like your profile page is going to be a place to show not only the projects that you're building, but also it will be a place to show the code reviews that you've done for other people. So displaying your knowledge as well. And so hopefully when that's up there as well, that will, like, more and more people will be happy to give feedback, because like you never know who might be looking at your profile, and you'll want to be sort of displaying your knowledge by giving feedback to others. So these are all things that I'm kind of working on. If anyone's got any ideas around like how I could make it easier for people to give feedback, that would be really, really much appreciated. Like I'd love to hear your ideas on that as well. But trying to find more midweight and senior developers and people who would be interested in just helping out in the community and giving back to juniors and the beginners and everything. That's also something I need to get better at doing. So it is on my mind for sure. And Chris is saying, any plans for Backend Mentor? So this is actually like a question I get a fair amount, and is at the moment. So with the Invoice app, for instance, you can build that out as a full stack application. We've got the data.json file, which is where you pull the data from. Like, so you'd make a HTTP request and pull the data from there. But then also you could literally like take that data, seed it into MongoDB, and then build out like a Node API or any API that you want, and then have that like build out the front end as well. So you could build that as a full stack application for sure. Also, you could do it with the To-Do app, for instance. Like I need to like rework the starter code and stuff like that, but I'm going to be creating quite a few more like full stack challenges. I don't at least not in the immediate future. We're definitely not going to go like for full backend projects, because it would be hard to kind of display that. Like, how do you visualize like the API in a nice way where people can give and receive feedback and all of this kind of stuff? So I'm going to be launching more and more full stack challenges where you could build out the API as well as the front end. But then also, but yeah, I don't know in the future if we'll do any pure backend challenges or like a backend mentor or anything like that. If someone else wants to do that, then like I'd love to see that in the world. I don't know if it's going to be for us for our platform, but full stack challenges, front end challenges, all of this kind of stuff. Hopefully that will all be good enough. Joanne, who will get access to the profiles of all users? Are you targeting companies or recruiters with this, and will they pay you for it? So yeah, with that, it will essentially be like it will be companies. So they would pay. So it would kind of be like Dribbble is at the moment, really. Like Dribbble is like talent, that you can do talent search and all of that kind of stuff on there. It would essentially almost become like the Dribbble for front end developers in a way, where you can showcase your work, showcase your knowledge as an individual developer, but then companies will be able to pay to then get access to talent search functionality. They could just click around on the platform without paying, because obviously it's an open platform, so anyone can view anyone's profile and see their solutions and all of this kind of stuff. But the talent search functionality would be a kind of like subscription. Companies or recruiters, whoever wants to use it, would be able to pay it. Whoever's looking for a front-end developer, and then they would be able to just jump in and search like, I want a developer who knows like Vue.js, like 2 years experience with Vue.js, and is like based in, I don't know, the US, or wants remote work or something like this, and has 5 years overall experience as a professional developer. And then they'd be able to be like, search, and then we'd be like, here's all of the people on the platform that meets that criteria. And then they would be able to kind of just message you through your LinkedIn or wherever, or on the site, like this kind of stuff. So yeah, it would be kind of companies that would be doing that. And then on the user, so like for the community, it would stay very similar to how it is, like free challenges. So you could, if you wanted to, just not pay any money whatsoever, and you would still be discovered by these companies. But then also, if you want to showcase like the best projects, and have the little like hire me button and all of this kind of stuff on your profile, then you could choose to subscribe if you want. So you'd be able to get like loads out of it for free as an individual if you want. But then if you wanted like access to the premium challenges and all of that kind of stuff to really showcase your skills and have an unbelievable portfolio on your profile, then you could be a subscribed member as well. Ashok saying, so yeah, get the Frontend Mentor logo out there for use on our sites. This is a really good point. And like I haven't actually M in the community mentioned this to me once, but I've forgotten about it since. This is a really good reminder. I'll do that. I'll actually I'll kind of make a note of that, mental note of that, and do that as soon as possible. And I'll add a little kind of page maybe next week or something like that on the Frontend Mentor site, which would be like, use the logo if you want, so you can just easily download it. But then also I'll just put one in the Frontend Mentor community as well, in the Slack channel in the short term, just so you can put it on your site and link to your Frontend Mentor profile. So yeah, that'd be good. Thank you very much for that suggestion. Joanne is saying it would be nice to get a ballpark figure for how long a challenge should take. If you are a junior, medium, or senior developer. This is another thing that people have asked, and I'm hesitant to put estimates because then it puts pressure on people to like complete it in that time. Also, it's massively dependent on whether you do like plain HTML, CSS, JavaScript, whether you do like React or Vue or like any other setup configuration, all this kind of stuff. Also, like, I don't actually think that it's valuable to be like, this is how long it should take, so then I'm gonna do this. What I think is more valuable, and this is what I always say if people ask this question or suggest this, is like, try and estimate how much time you think it's going to take you before you build the challenge. So if it's like the profile card component or something like this, you might be like, based on my skills or based on my experience, I think it's going to take 2 hours or something, and break it up into chunks. I think like the HTML is going to take 20 minutes. I think the mobile styles are going to take this amount of time. The like desktop styles are going to take this amount of time, all this kind of stuff. And then just build it and time yourself, and then see how much time it takes you to build that project. Because then over time, what you'll do by doing that is you'll be able to start to make really, really good estimates for your work. And this is going to help you massively in your professional career, because like, estimating work is really hard, and developers are often very, very bad at it. So you'll be like, oh yeah, that's probably going to take me 4 hours. And then it ends up taking someone like 2 days or something like that. And then whoever you've promised it to be 4 hours is then really annoyed because it's actually taken you 2 days. So actually what I would recommend is not look at recommended times for challenges. And like, I'm really hesitant to add them because of this reason. But what I would try and do is estimate how long you think it's going to take yourself. And then as you build up your skills, you'll also build up this skill of like accurate time, like project estimation. So yeah, that's what I'd recommend as far as that goes. So OT is saying gaining points is not based on the quality of the work, but only to submitting a solution. Am I correct? Yes, at the moment that's correct. Like, what we did have before was you'd get points if people liked and bookmarked your solution. But then what we found, unfortunately, was there were some people that would sign up. They would create like 5, 6, 7, 8 different like fake accounts, post solutions, and then just like and bookmark all of those solutions just to build up the points on that one score. So I kind of, as soon as I realized that was going on, I removed the upvote, like getting points for likes and bookmarks. But what we're going to do, and what we're planning to do, is to add the ability. So we're going to have like a small network of people on, like, who are involved heavily in the community, who essentially have like moderator style privileges, to the point where, yeah, OT's saying, yeah, cheaters. Yeah, definitely is. Like, I was kind of surprised when that started happening, because I was like, surely that's not, like, getting top of Frontend Mentor leaderboard is not a huge thing. But actually, like, and the more and more like we grow, and the more and more like recruiters might start looking at the leaderboard and all of that kind of stuff to see who the top people are in the community, like, that it will become more and more of a thing. So immediately it was like, actually, yeah, that's not a good way to do it. It's way too easy to game. And so what we're going to do instead is we're going to have a team of like moderators, like myself included, and kind of small team, who will have the ability to, like, when they see a solution, they'll be able to kind of feature it. So they'll have a little button that will be like, feature this solution. And so at the moment, when you submit your challenge, you then unlock access to all of the solutions for that challenge, so that you can kind of see how other people have done and all that kind of stuff. And at the moment, it just says like the latest solutions. But in the future, we'll also have like a tab that will be like featured solutions for a challenge. And so basically it will then, so if you ever have a featured solution, so if one of the moderators features your solution, then you'll get some points by adding like what we would call like a featured solution or a good solution for that challenge. But the major point here, and Ashok, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, has mentioned in the chat as well, points should be linked to mentoring others. And this is a big thing as well, is that a big part of being on Frontend Mentor is not only completing the challenges, but it's helping each other improve. So diving into the comments, building relationships with other developers. The more you help other people, the more help you're going to get. Like all you have to do is go to like Apple Pie Giraffe's profile, for instance, and you'll see that he's helped so many people. He's so active, but then whenever he posts a solution, he gets so many comments and so much feedback on his challenges because he's helped so many other people that people are like, oh, APG's posted a solution. Like, I'm going to dive in and figure it out and then like give some feedback and all this kind of stuff. So you'll find that the more you help others, like the more help you get as well. And definitely points should be linked to kind of mentoring others. But then also we're going to add this kind of featured solutions to the point where like if one of your solutions are featured, you'll get some points from that for sure. So yeah, APG is very, very active. He's a massive, like he's amazing for the community. Like he's so good. Like the feedback that he gives, the time that he gives to help others, the detail of his solutions as well. He's doing an amazing job. So what else have we got? Sorry, it keeps on jumping around slightly. So Jim Ray is saying, how does the point system work? Yeah, so actually the best thing that I'd recommend doing there, Jim Ray, is just go to the Wall of Fame, and you'll see like a little bit at the top right will say learn about our point system. Just click on that and it will show you like exactly how the point system works. So so for that one, yeah, I'd recommend just go to the Wall of Fame, click on kind of learn more about our point system, and then that will be the best place to find out about that. Cool. So Aman is saying, how do you decide the challenge level? Sometimes newbies looks like for junior, like the FAQ accordion. Great to see you. Great to see you too. Thank you for the question. It's very much like it's a very unscientific process. It's just me kind of roughly gauging it. The problem is because there's 5 levels, there are always going to be some like newbie challenges who might be like more towards the junior level. So like they're kind of upper newbie challenges and lower newbie challenges and this kind of thing. And then in the junior level, there will be kind of lower junior and upper upper junior and all of this kind of stuff. And what I like, and with that is kind of, yeah, slightly unscientific. What I want to do in the future is add like learning paths to it. So it would be like, if you're at this level, start with this challenge and then this challenge and then this challenge and then this challenge, and just move so it's more of a gradual process, because sometimes someone might see like, oh, that's a newbie level challenge, I'm going to do that one. But then it might be one of the harder newbie challenges. Like you say, it might be kind of slightly almost like in the junior level, this kind of thing. So there's improvements I want to make around that. The biggest one in the future will be to add kind of learning paths as well. And so that's definitely something that I'll be planning to do for sure. Thank you for your questions. Mesa is saying, I've finished many challenges, learned a lot of technology. How can I tell if I am a junior front-end developer? With that, like if you've completed a lot of challenges and you're starting to feel quite confident, Mesa, what I would do is just start applying for roles, because the worst thing that can happen, I'm always someone that would recommend like applying before you feel ready to apply, because the worst thing that's going to happen is people are going to say no, and then hopefully they're going to give you feedback on why you didn't get the role or why you weren't considered for the role. And so like, and also even if you don't get the role, it's good practice for when you like do more interviews, and you'll get better and better. Like interviewing is a skill set in its own right. So I would recommend kind of starting sooner rather than later in that process. So if you can, like, I already know that you've completed a lot of challenges. I've seen your solutions. I've given you some feedback. on some of those solutions as well. And like you're ready to start applying. Whether you get something or not, like you never know. But what I would strongly recommend is just start applying. And then if people do reject your application, see if you can get some feedback from them, and then take that feedback in. Don't take it personally. Just try to improve, and then just keep on growing from there. So yeah, just go for it. Like I said, I've seen your solutions mess it. I would say you're ready to start applying. So yeah, start going for it. Alexa is saying, thanks for your comments. I'm a career switcher, and the challenges I've completed have helped fill my CV. Your ideas to exposure to jobs would be of great help. That would be amazing. And also, Alexa is saying, would be great to attach CV or LinkedIn or GitHub to profile. Yes. And like so in your settings, if you just go to your profile settings, you'll see that you can actually add things like your LinkedIn, Twitter, like GitHub is already there because we use GitHub to authenticate. But then also things like if you've got a dev.to profile, or if you've got a Medium profile where you're blogging or anything like that, or your personal website, you can put all of those links in and they'll show up on your profile. So yeah, I would just kind of go into the settings and start padding out your profile on Frontend Mentor with those links. Well, actually, this is a really good point. So if I can give some, so I'll read it out as well. If I can give some advice to the community when submitting challenges, don't just ask for any feedback. More detailed questions are easier to answer, so you're more likely to get some answers. And this is another thing like that I need to improve. There's a lot of things that I need to improve. And it will all come with time, so you have to bear with me a little bit. And like I would say, like, that's completely true. Like you saying, when you submit a solution, you saying kind of, please give me some feedback. That's great. You're saying you would like feedback, which is great. And it also gets you onto the kind of requested feedback tab versus the all solutions tab. So it makes it more discoverable, makes your solution more discoverable. But at the same time, it's very broad. Like you're just by saying kind of, I'd love some feedback, you're not actually giving anyone any helpful guidance on like what you would like feedback on. So the more time you can spend asking your questions and really kind of diving in and like really fleshing it out and being like, this is the first time I've used CSS grid. I'm not sure if I've set up like the columns and the rows correctly and XYZ. The more detail that you can give. Oh, Grace has joined. Yay. Hey, Grace. I'm really looking forward to our chat tomorrow. It's going to be brilliant. And yeah, so the more time and effort and thought you can put into your question when you're submitting your solution, the higher the chance is that someone's going to put time and effort into like looking at your solution and answering your questions. Saying I'd love some feedback is great because you're opening yourself up to feedback, which is awesome, but it's not actually very helpful for the people that will be giving you feedback because they don't actually know what you would like feedback on. And it takes time to do these code reviews. So the more you can help the kind of the mentors on the platform, the more likely you are to get the feedback that you're looking for. So I'd say that that's a really, really good point. Aman is saying, add a Discord. Like, so at the moment, and this is actually something that I've been thinking about a lot. Slack is great, but I love Discord. You don't lose the memory at the moment, like, because we've got so many people in the platform or in Slack. You lose messages after like a month at the moment. So at some point, I could definitely see a situation where we migrate from Slack over to Discord and just have like, and also it'd be great for collaborations. Like imagine being able to dip into like collaboration 1 or something like that, and just get on the audio and chat with people on a project and all of this kind of stuff just in Discord. And also the automations that you can set up with Discord around like code of conduct, helping people ask questions in the right way, like all of this kind of stuff. All of the automations and everything that you can do in Discord seem like so much better integrated. So I can see a world where we do migrate to Discord at some point. It won't be for just yet. It won't be the foreseeable future, but that is on my mind for sure. And I'll be looking at that for sure. So OT saying, sounds good, because if there's no feedback, it's very hard to improve your code unless you go through each solutions. And there are many solutions with no feedback. Yeah, so yeah, this is it. Like I definitely want to improve like the engagement side of it, and I want to be more active on it as well. And I will be. And it's just making it as easy as possible for people to ask the right questions, but then also for people to give good feedback as well. Make it fun, quick, easy as possible to give feedback. Valuable feedback would be great. So this is good. But also, OT, I would recommend like spend time looking at other people's solutions, critically analyze their code. And if you spot something, mention it, give them feedback. The more helpful you are to other people, the more help you're probably going to get on your solutions as well. And like I said, like APG is a great example of this. Apple Pie Giraffe, he gives so much feedback, and then he posts a solution, he gets so much feedback on his own solutions as well. So it's kind of give and take as well. Like give other people feedback. Maybe once you've completed your challenge, dive in and you can kind of give someone else feedback on that same challenge, for that same challenge. And then you could say like, oh, and I've just completed this as well. I'd love some feedback on mine as well. So so all of these kinds of things definitely help. Grace is saying she loves Slack. Discord makes her sad. I know what you mean. Like I've dived in. I'm in some Discord channels. I'm definitely not comfortable with Discord yet. I'm kind of more comfortable with Slack. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And also, Grace, was this you then? So Ashauk is actually Grace. Yeah, there are a lot of beginners on the platform, so there will probably always be more solutions than feedback. Yeah, and this is very true. This is also, it is something that I want to try and improve though. I want to, like, the plan would be to reach out to more people, but I don't want to become like the kind of the person that just contacts everyone and like unsolicited just asks for people to dive in and like, hey, we've got this platform, you're a midweight or senior developer, like please come in and help all of our juniors out. Like that's definitely not something that I would think would be well received and not something that I would want to be doing. But I do want to find ways of trying to get more midweights and seniors on the platform because it helps them. Like it helps them by giving feedback to people. You learn more, even if you're an experienced developer. It helps the community massively. So there's so many benefits there. So I do want to improve that and make it so that there is more feedback being given on the platform as well. So yeah, and Grace was saying, yeah, just kind of make sure ask specific questions as well. That's 100% true. Amazing. No more questions. Brilliant. So I hope that has all been like really helpful. Lots of questions in this live stream. So this was really, really fun. Thank you all for joining. And I'm really oh, wait a minute. Chris has asked one before I go. What about a system where for every 10 to 20 quality comments, they can unlock one premium challenge? This is a really good point. And this is actually something that I've thought about as well. It's like, I've thought about this stuff, but it's just a resource thing of like time to build it. Yeah, I want to have, and actually this idea came to me when I was playing on my PlayStation, which is weird. But it basically set, and it's very much like a kind of gamification side of things, which is like, objectives. So you could have like objectives where it's like, comment on 10 comments, like get upvotes and this kind of stuff. And then you would unlock a premium challenge credit or a design credit or something like that. And it also gives people who can't necessarily pay for the subscription. It gives another way to get access to like premium stuff. OT is saying it would be hard to value the comments though. So with that, what I would say with that is we're actually going to be making a bit of a change soon, whereby we're going to be adding a little button on the comments where the solution author will be able to mark that comment as helpful. And so we're actually going to be reducing the amount of points that you get by just getting upvotes. So at the moment you get like plus 15. So we're going to be reducing the amount of points that you get for just upvotes. But then if the solution author marks your comment as helpful, then that's them saying like your comment has specifically helped me with my question and has been really helpful. And in that instance, I think like you could say have like 10 comments on 10 different people's solutions marked as helpful, and you unlock, like that's a lot though, but and then you unlock a premium challenge credit or something like that. And so like Chris is saying, like similar to Stack Overflow, where you say you've answered a question. Obviously on Frontend Mentor, it's not necessarily answering a specific question. It's like the solution author saying, yes, like this comment was helpful to me, so thank you. And then that will give like more points to the person if the solution author marks it as helpful. And that would be another way to then add in these kind of extra benefits of like, comment on, have 10 comments marked as helpful on 10 different people's solutions, and then you'll unlock a design credit or a premium challenge credit or something like that. So that will no doubt drive some more engagement and all this kind of stuff. And also I want to drive engagement like as much as possible, because it will also help people that give the comments. Like you learn so much by actually giving the comments, that actually if you're only on the platform submitting solutions and not reviewing anyone else's code, you're actually missing a gigantic chunk of like learning opportunities that are going to stand you in good stead in your professional work environment. So the more we can do to try to like kind of drive engagement and stuff, then the better. So yeah, this is, I've got all of these ideas in my head. It's just a thing of like actually building it and doing it, hopefully. So as some of you might know, some of you might not know, I started this up originally by myself, but then a friend of mine jumped in and started helping me out on the backend side. He's a really good backend developer. And the plan will be to hopefully get him full-time on this. He works full-time at a company called FutureLearn at the moment. But the plan will be hopefully in May or so, get him full-time on the platform as well. And then we'll be able to hopefully start really moving at a rate of knots and adding more and more and more things faster and faster. And as the business grows as well, like it's still kind of a very small business. Like as the business grows, I'll be able to bring on more people as well to build out features faster. So the plans are all there. It's just a case of like actually doing them and kind of growing the platform into as helpful a community as possible for developers. So yeah, thank you so much for everyone for joining. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. Like I've absolutely loved this, and I'm looking forward to the next one next month. And then also we've got Grace in the chat. Like I'm really, really looking forward to the chat tomorrow. So 4 p.m. GMT, so the same time as what it was today for this community hangout session. Me and Grace are just going to be on here, like split screen, chatting away, hearing more about Grace's background, web development career, tips, tricks, all of this kind of stuff. We'll also be answering questions directly from the chat, just like I am now as well. So yeah, it's going to be really, really good fun. So look forward to hopefully seeing some, if not all of you there. And Grace, if you're still in the chat, looking forward to chatting to you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Speak soon. Bye.